Many people to be in denial, deceit, and delusion about this level of black crime, violence, and hostility, black on white hostility, is because we're now seeing it every day in mainstream places. I mean, let's just take two examples from today. I woke up, turned on NPR, I'm listening to people talk about movies, and I hear a woman, young black woman, talking about the movies as if there were never any black performers, producers, directors, or anything in the movies prior to the movie Wakanda. And then another woman, an Asian woman, she chimes in and says, yeah, we haven't had, she was talking about the movie, I think it's Crazy Rich Asians. And she was complaining about the fact that there hasn't been any, Asian movies since the Joy Luck Club. I've got some bad news for that lady. Like, have you ever heard about movies from China and Japan and Korea? These are great movies. Lots of Asian people in these movies. But it's all mainstream, and everybody just throws this white hostility on there, so we just shrug our shoulders and go, well, I hear it every day. I guess it's an everyday thing now. And what about our buddy LeBron James?
Excuse me, on the eve of one of the greatest sporting events that we have in sports. Race and what's going on comes again. If this is to shed a light and continue to keep the conversation going on my behalf, then I'm okay with it. My family is safe. At the end of the day, they're safe, and that's the most important. But it just goes to show that that racism will always be a part of the world, a part of America. And, hate, in America, especially for African American, is living every day. No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being black in America is tough, and we got a long way to go. For us as a society and for us as African Americans until we feel equal.
Shannon, what's your reaction?
I think people want me to be shocked. I think a lot of people were shocked, but I'm growing increasingly disappointed with this stain in American society that's been here since the first blacks were brought to America, and I think in Jamestown in 1619. So I'm disappointed.
Did you say anything to him before or after or during?
No, I didn't say anything to him before anything.
And Sylvia Johnson told us what the shooter said before he opened fire.
Y'all raped our women, and now you taking the country. And this have to go through. I have to do this.
No, I didn't say anything to him before.
I'm not shocked, and I've said this before, Skip. I want to take this time now. Skip, we opened on September 6th, and we started talking about Colin Kaepernick, and you've allowed me to speak openly and honestly about the issue of race, not only in sports, but in America.
And you have spoken powerfully.
Thank you. I've said numerous times, the hardest job in America isn't being a professional athlete. It's not being a bullfighter or a matador or having some job that puts your life at risk. The hardest job in America is being black.
Somebody spray paints the N-word across the gate of your house in Los Angeles. This is where you live in the summer.
Yeah.
This is where your children sleep. What did it feel like to you?
Surprising, no.
I think people want me to be shocked.
Because I still understand how race plays a huge part in America. And
which month is White History Month? No, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh.
For me to be sitting here on the eve of the finals, one of the biggest sporting events in the world, and have to answer questions about racism. It just lets me know that it's still here, and we should all know that. And if it takes for someone to spray paint my gate and use that derogatory term, that hate on my family, to shed a light on what the real issue is in the world, then so be it. And I think, and I sit here and say that I believe that's why, you know, women like Emmett Till's mom left the casket open and showed everybody in the world what her son went through because of hate in America.
James, actually blind you and actually make you think there's a better opportunity and there's a level playing field in existence. But the reality is, there will always be some who think of you with such malice and such hate. And what's most disturbing is that that's the reality for a lot of kids in America that are growing up as black males and females. Think about it. I'm from Compton, California.
If that can shed light on the whole situation and we can continue the conversation, because no matter how much money you got, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, at the end of the day, being a black man in America is very frightening, and it lets us know that we got so much further to go to be equal in this.
We've always been in this position. We've always strived. We've always had to plan for this moment. It's something that I've always had a passion about, and that's, you know, letting people know and having people to understand how important we are as Black America, you know, and the powers and the creativity and the language.
Delicate situation. I mean, racism we know exists.
Stop talking about it.
As we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., LeBron James shared some strong words on equality today. At shoot-around ahead of tonight's big game against the Warriors, James said it's his hope to continue a nationwide conversation about racism.
Put yourself in a position, and for me as a father, you know, I try to just give my kids the blueprint on how life is going to be, but at the end of the day, I can only tell them so much, and then they have to go out and live it themselves. You know, for me, just try to be respectful for one, be respectful to others, and I feel like if you do that consistently, then I believe the karma will come back to you. I don't want no. It's me and my boys. We going to high school together, and we here to hoop.
LeBron James admits he didn't always trust white people.
It took me a little while, right, to kind of adjust to it.
Well, I definitely voiced my opinion on the Trayvon Martin piece, and